Good company is important. It helps to cultivate good qualities. The book reading sessions with the living legend, Dr. Kiran Bedi, provides the true guidance, not just to the individuals, but to all the participants, to all the listeners who are hearing her. The book reading sessions with Dr. Kiran Bedi and Saina ma'am are very engaging, interactive, and they're definitely impactful. The duo touch various aspects and truly groom an individual into a better person. Their main focus is creating leadership at an early age. Join in the sessions full of positivity and inspiration. See you there.
I am fond of reading books of all genres. My hobby is writing poems and articles. Along with that, I play musical instruments. Furthermore, I love to engage myself in arts such as painting. Let's have a glimpse.
My hobbies are painting, journaling, and researching about the mysteries of the universe.
My painting highlighting the need for cyber security, a poster destigmatizing mental health issues, and the glimpses of my bullet journal.
My hobbies are dancing, drawing, learning new things, reading books, and my talent is sketching.
My hobbies include reading books and newspapers, gardening, taking care of injured animals, and singing. देखूं मैं तुझे या देखूं कुदरत के नजारे, मुश्किलों में है ये दिल मेरा, माना तेरी सूरत की है चांदी 100% बिल्लो.
My hobby is dancing. I like to dance because it helps me to remove stress and makes me cheerful. These days, many people, irrespective of their ages, indulge in dancing. Dancing requires a lot of patience and practice. Dancing, in my way, is to escape the cruelties of the world. Thank you.
My hobbies are writing poems, participating in debates, giving speeches, doing plantation, etc. I am very passionate about public speaking, writing, and painting. I love to participate in various curricular and co-curricular activities.
My favorite book is the Bible. It is something that has given me life. Every day it reminds me how much God loves me and that it is my responsibility to share that same love with others, because that is exactly what the world needs today.
The Unbreakable Autobiography of MC Mary Kom is my favorite book, as it taught me that even after the hardships we face, we need to be determined and hardworking towards our goals. We need to strive for the success that we wish to achieve. I am truly inspired.
The book which influenced me a lot is the Mahabharata, written by Samita Ani. It is a long and beautifully told Indian ancient epic of humans and gods. This book taught me that how a person should live and be wise enough to make the decisions in life.
My favorite book is Kalpana Chawla, A Life Paperback. It was written by Anil Padmanabhan, in which he produces a moving portrait of a woman whose life was a shining affirmation that if you have a dream, no matter how hard it is, you can achieve it. And this is the reason why I love this book.
My favorite book is Such Sweet Sorrow, written by Cathy Flynn. It is all about a family which is divided by war but united by love. Whenever I pick it up, it becomes a wrench for me to keep it down again. It gives an insight into the family and its sufferings during the war in Liverpool.
My favorite book is Wings of Fire, which is an autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. A good book is a garden, an orchard, a storehouse, a counselor, he wrote. As a teenager and a knowledge seeker with dreams of a bright future, Kalam's Wings of Fire inspire me. It weaves its magical spell to the extent that it can be read several times, not just once. Thank you.
Jai Dhari Ma, wish you all a very, very blessed Happy New Year. We welcome our audience. आप सबको Happy New Year. आइए जुड़िए. Give all your love to our children. Children, your young children with such intense minds. Just saw that video. So all blessed, and we start our sharing. Talk to mommy and tell her all about yourself and then the city. Just to mention, you all are from St. Angela Sophia School, Jaipur. So we thank your school and we thank Ambika, our child from our book reading session, because she's helped us do this and get you all together. So she's a lovely young girl. So a lot of gratitude to her. She's from your school. This is your collective school. Ji, Mami.
Thank you. I want to thank Demonstrative Learning and the team of Demonstrative Learning for having brought you all together. Let me say a very Happy New Year to all of you, my children. Happy New Year. I hope you all have started it beautifully as you would like to see it happen. Am I right? Angel, how have you started it? How have you
Ma'am,
started it?
actually started just studying because from tomorrow we are beginning with our examinations. So our New Year goes like studying.
Oh, you started getting ready for the exams. Nidhi, how have you started it?
Nidhi?
Ma'am, I'm ready for my exams as the Angel Didi has mentioned that from tomorrow we are getting with our started with our exams. So I'm getting prepared for that.
Oh, we've narrowly escaped it. We just put it one day before. It's good. Krupa, you also for exams?
No, ma'am. I am preparing for my exams both, and I'm preparing for this session too. I was preparing since last 2 weeks.
Preparing for this session.
Yes, ma'am. I'm super excited today.
How are you preparing?
Ma'am, I was thinking about what to ask you and how to deal with such a great personality.
Wow, that's so nice of you. But you read the Mahabharata. You read the Mahabharata. You read the Mahabharata.
Ma'am, I did not read the real version, but I read a child's view that is written by Samhita Arni. It is written in the way that a child can understand the whole Mahabharata.
That's all. Oh, it's got so many lessons for all of us. Refer you?
Yes, ma'am.
Refer you? How have you started
Yes,
your new
ma'am.
year?
I was also preparing for my English exam tomorrow.
Oh, wow. That's not tough. Is it tough? Is it tough?
Um, it's easy, but it's easy when you prepare it by heart because literature, whenever you read it by heart, it becomes very easy.
Or is it with heart or by heart?
I think it is by heart.
Yes. By, what do you mean by heart? That's rote learning. If you learn it by heart, but if you learn it with heart, that's understanding it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Venetia, what about you? You've been reading the Bible.
Yes, ma'am. Every day in the morning, I read the Bible, and every day I get a new message from God. And every day I try my level best to apply that message in my life. So this year has been full of God's favor. And it's a very important year for me because I'm having my board exams. So I am embracing myself for that.
So, what was the morning message?
Today's morning message told me to not compare myself with others,
Wow,
and that I'm a child of God and my identity is only found in God, not in the things of this world.
that's lovely.
Thank
What
you.
was yesterday's message? What was yesterday's message?
Ma'am, yesterday, honestly, it was not a very good day for me. And I even cried yesterday. And God told me that everything which happens in my life is for a reason. I may not see it right now. I believe that God has placed this big obstacle in my life and it is going to destroy me. But God had placed that obstacle for a reason. Maybe it was to improve me and to tell me that this is where you are wrong. So that was yesterday's lesson.
Very nice. You can all clap for her. Lovely. I'm glad that you remembered it so beautifully. Benicia, what about you, Devika?
So my New Year resolution this year is to read as many books as I can, and I am an aspiring writer, so I also want to improve my writing skills. And along with that, I just recently published a book of mine on Christmas Day itself. So I am wishing to take on the journey of my writing to another level and publish some more into TOI and more articles.
That's lovely. Let me begin by saying thank you to Ambika. Ambika has brought your entire school for us for this event. So we can all collectively say thank you, Ambika, and thank the St. Anthony School. Am I right, Saina? Your mic,
Saint
please.
Saint Angela Sophia School.
Angela. Okay, St. Angela Sophia
Sophia
School, right?
School. Sophia.
Yeah. Want to thank St. Angela Sophia School of Ambika. Thank you, Ambika, and thank the staff for bringing us all together. Very happy to see that you're all reading the right kind of books. You want to say something?
I just need a minute. Do you have some hot water with you
I've got it.
next to you? Is this normal water or is this hot, a little
No, this
lukewarm
is
water?
lukewarm. This is
Ah,
lukewarm.
keep sipping it. Little bit. Okay. Sorry.
Lately, I've been doing a lot of speaking. So, with the result that it's a little exhausted, it's been a lot of talking. Even after now, I've come after about 4 hours of talking about a particular project. So, bear with my bad throat.
Ma be with you.
Ma'am, thank you so much for putting all these efforts just to talk to us children, and we are so grateful to you for doing such hard work.
Well, if I wouldn't put hard work, I would probably be wasting myself. I don't want to waste myself. So I try and see every minute is futuristic. And you are the future. So if I can spare a few minutes for your future, why not? Life becomes warmer and better. This is my lesson of life. A lesson of my life is value your time and value others' time. And then you start saying, oh, why should I? Let me take it off today. But then you remember that I could have done the same thing yesterday, but I didn't let it go. And therefore, today is because I did it the right way yesterday. And today being the right way again. Okay, let's go to your questions. Krupa, let me begin. Angel, let's begin with your questions.
Mummy, they
Yeah.
they have they they can talk about themselves and about their city, and then we
Ah,
can do the Q&A.
yeah, I know you asked it that they will talk about the city.
They can talk about themselves and combine it with talking about the city, so we can have a little round with that.
Okay,
They'll
let's
talk
do that.
about themselves and their city. So we can
Okay,
start.
let's do that. Let's do that. Let's begin with Angel.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So may I begin?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Beta, talk about yourself, then talk about your city, and all is blessed. You're just sharing it with your family. So share.
Ma'am, actually,
Um,
I'm quite nervous because I'm sharing with such a great. I'm sitting in front of such a great personality, whom we have just seen in our books and just read in our books. So I'm quite nervous. My heart is palpitating. So
okay, relax, relax.
Your time. Take your time. कोई बात नहीं. अच्छा, what do you like? What do you like doing? What's your favorite
uh, I like
feeling?
uh,
Like
just
doing?
I like to talk to myself when I'm anxious.
That's a
That's
good idea
that's a
to
good
talk to
idea.
yourself.
Yeah, because it gives me uh, just puts my heart down. That's okay. It's okay to be fine. That's okay if you have done wrong. But I'm seriously, ma'am, to be very honest, I'm anxious because I'm sitting in front of Dr. Kiran Bedi, ma'am. I can't express myself. I can't express. I'm
But Angel,
so
Angel, auto talk is a good idea. Self talk is a good idea. Self talk is a very good technique where you talk to yourself and ask your mind, and mind let the mind answer. The inner recesses of your mind will answer. It's a good idea. You can reason with yourself. You can even stand before a mirror and talk to yourself. It's a good idea.
yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So
Okay.
may I begin?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. सोने झेड़ी रेत जटे जो चांदीरो असमाण रंग रंगीलो रूप सांवड़ो प्यारो म्हारो राजस्थान. A very cheerful evening to one and all present here. I, Angel Vijay of grade 11 from Jaipur, Rajasthan of St. Angela Sophia Senior Secondary School is very grateful to speak on the topic History of Rajasthan in front of a very great personality whom we have just seen or read in our books, that is Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am. Jaipur is one of the most culturally rich heritage cities in India. It was founded in the year 1727. The city was named after Maharaja Jai Singh II, who was the main founder of this city. The city was attacked many a times by its neighboring warriors like Marathas, but for most of its history, Jaipur stayed under the rule of the great Rajputs. It was one of the few parts of the country which never came under the rule of British, who left India in 1947. Thank you.
So, what do you like the most of your city?
Ma'am, uh, the everything of Jaipur is very beautiful, but the most eye-catching is its monuments and the culture. Like the culture of Jaipur is very colorful. The kind of the traditional dresses, the Rajasthani dresses which you wear, are so colorful that they're so eye catching. Like you cannot express yourself when I wear that dress, when I wear Rajasthani dress. I feel so proud. I feel so amazed that I live in Rajasthan, the city of color, and I not in Rajasthan and Jaipur, this pink city. Uh, so that's the most thing which I like.
Why is it pink? Nidhi, why is it called the pink city?
Ma'am, it's called the Pink City because there's a history behind it. Uh, like it says that when it was, I don't, it was a king, was a prince who came in Jaipur to meet Maharaja Jai Singh. So they have they when that prince came to Jaipur,
So that's why our city has came to be known as the Pink City.
Okay,
Who
let's
knows?
have
Who
Nidhi.
knows why is it
Yeah,
a pink
Nidhi.
city?
Why is it called the Pink City?
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, may I?
Okay, we're coming to you. Krupa, yes, you first. Why is it called the Pink City?
Ma'am, Jaipur has been popularized by the name Pink City because of the because uh, of the color of the stone exclusively used for the construction of all the structures. But the pink color has its own history. That is, in the year 1876, Prince Albert Edward, along with Queen Victoria, were undertaken a tour of India. Maharaja Ram Singh was then the ruler of Jaipur. He decided to welcome the guests in a very extraordinary way. That is, he ordered to paint the whole city in the beautiful pink terracotta color to welcome the royal guests. And ma'am, it is also believed that when the prince came and visited Jaipur, he exclaimed, "What a pink city!" And since then, the city got its name.
I
Every
see.
year, the state government paints the whole city to maintain the tagline that is the heritage city of India, the pink city.
Lovely. Rifa, you want to add something?
Yes, ma'am. And the Jaipur is known for the best infrastructure of the whole country. That's why it is known as the Pink City. It has the best infrastructure for the whole country and it is known for its infrastructure all over the world.
Okay. Let me go back to Nidhi. Now, Nidhi, what would you like to talk about Jaipur?
Ma'am, I would like to talk about the forts of Jaipur. So, Pink City is well known around the world for its spectacular forts and magnificent palaces, which reflects the signs of Indian architecture and the glory of Rajputs. Famous forts in Jaipur having grand character are Amir Fort, Nargar Fort, Jaigarh Fort, Hawa Mahal as the top priority. So, Amir Fort, it is a fort located in Amir, Rajasthan. Amir is a town with an area of 4 square kilometers, which is located 11 kilometers from Jaipur. Amir city and Amir Fort were founded by ruler Alan Singh of Chanda dynasty of Minas. Located on the high hill, it is the principal tourist attraction in Jaipur. Then we have Jagar Fort. It is situated on the promontory called the Chil Ka Tila, that is the Hill of Eagles of the Aravali range. It overlooks the Amer Fort and the Mautha Lake near Amer in Jaipur. The fort was built by Savai Jai Singh in 1726 to protect the Amer Fort and its palace complex. It was named after him. Then we have Nargar Fort. Nargar Fort stands on the edge of the Aravali Hills, overlooking the city of Jaipur in the Indian state of Rajasthan.
What do you like of Jaipur the most? And why?
Ma'am, I like the food of Jaipur. That is the famous delicacy. Is the Rajasthani delicacy that is dal bati churma, which is served in almost every restaurant of Jaipur. In which dal is a yellow lentil curry and bati is a baked bread dipped in ghee, and the churma is a sweet dish. All three are mixed together and served.
Oh, lovely. Do you know how to bake it? Do you know how to make it? Do you know how to cook it?
Yes, ma'am.
You know how to cook
I
it?
just like I don't know how to do it, but I've seen my mother doing it in kitchen.
Okay. Maybe you can learn it.
Plate kholo.
Anna, maybe learn it. Yeah, you can learn it. Nidhi?
निधि दाल बाटी बनाना सीख लो.
Okay, let me go to Krupa.
Yes.
Okay, Krupa, your turn. About Jaipur.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I had to speak about why is Jaipur called the Pink City, and I've already said. But ma'am, I'd like to join a few things. That is, uh, uh, ma'am, Jaipur is Maharaja Ram Singh. It was Maharaja Ram Singh who gave order to paint the whole city in pink. And ma'am, this was because he wanted to build strong relations with the Britishers, so that there was a big reason behind that if he builds good relations with the Britishers, he'll be knowing the information, and then by that way he could help his country. And ma'am, pink color symbolizes vibrancy and hospitality. So and Jaipur got its name as Pink City. It was given by Prince Charles. uh, it was given by Prince Albert Edward, who later became the Prince of Wales.
Good. What all did you go to Wikipedia to read this?
Ma'am, actually, I ventured out a few sites, and like a bit from here, a little from there, and that's how I built it.
Good. Thank you, Krupa. Okay, Rifa, your turn.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have written a poem. May I recite it now?
Please do.
Where we must go for this vacations, somewhere that fulfills all our longings and temptations. It is the Pink City, the city of palaces, the capital of Rajasthan. Just see how its beauty emerges. Jal Mahal is lovely to see. It shows how the kings and queens lived in peace, where the past has a great importance. The Birla Temple is known for its magnificence. The Albert Hall is quite mesmerizing. There is never any need of advertising. For fun and shopping, don't worry. GT and WTP is very interesting. The fun and laughter will last for long when the tour of Amer Fort prolongs. Here is something which is no less than gliding when you climb up for elephant riding. The Nargar and the Jagar Fort are quite aspiring, where it is lovely to see the sun rising. Listen carefully to the bells of the temples. So see what the mosques and the churches resemble. The wind which blows over the Jantar Mantar is filled with science and wonder, while the Hawa Mahal, the happiness arise while you will count the 953 windows. A city known for its dynamic culture, a city known for its pink infrastructure, a city known for technology and food. We are the people of Jaipur and we love Jaipur. Thank you, ma'am.
Lovely. You anyway were writing poems. Do you write this regularly? You write poems regularly? Do you write poems regularly?
Yes, ma'am. I love writing poems. Yes, ma'am.
Publish this in your school magazine.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay, Benicia, your turn. Thank you, Rifa. Benicia, your turn.
Yes, ma'am. So, at first, I would want you all to know that I'm actually a South Indian and I moved to Jaipur like 7 years ago. So, as far as I know, and I've been to Jaipur, different sites, different festivals, and what I've actually seen is that Jaipur is quite a diverse and colorful nation. I mean, a city. It has a lot of diversity and different art forms like block printing. And the topic which I've got is Kathputli dance. It's a form of art form which puppeteers do, in which puppets are there and they dance the puppets and they showcase different stories. These are usually ballads, which are the olden folk tales, which shows the different romantic and chivalric stories of different historical events. But at the same time, it is also very important, because when we see these art form, we get to know about the olden times, the problems which were there, like the sati system and all these things. We get to know about these things and how we have come till now. What, not only is it a form of telling us about the history, but it also tells us about the different things we have to still work on. There are different types of these puppeteers in which they showcase the actual problems which are going on in this real world right now. We can showcase that, and through that way people get to know about these things, and so that through this way they can make changes in our world today. So I love this thing, and I hope our youth also joins and learn to do this skilled art form.
I hope it stays. It's not dying.
What, ma'am?
I hope it stays. It's not dying.
Yes, ma'am, that is so true. If I'll get an opportunity, I'll definitely learn this thing.
I think it's a great art. It can be taught a little in the schools as a hobby.
Yes, ma'am, that's a really nice idea.
Yeah, teach it in schools, and then you can play around with it. And the way these Katputlis dance, it's amazing. The way the woman dances, my God, and
Yes.
the way the man plays the drum, they're brilliant. I think it can be easily taught in schools as a hobby. Suggest it to your school.
Yes, ma'am, for sure. As the cultural president of my school, I'll definitely tell sister about this thing.
And you can start with little bits. Automatically, the fingers will learn to do more.
Yeah, and ma'am, I also think that our education system could adopt more of such interactive and creative art forms in the schools as well as a part of the curriculum.
Yes, but nothing stops any school from adding another hobby.
Hmm.
Depends on the school.
Yeah.
So you, as girls, as students, can suggest. I think it's very creative.
Yes, ma'am.
I've seen many of these Kathputli dances. They're very nice. So keep the culture on and run it through your school. Okay, Benicia? Thank you. Thank you for bringing this forth.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Devika, your turn.
A very warm good evening to everyone. As everybody has given a wonderful perspective of their Jaipur, I am here to give my perspective of Jaipur from the cultural point of view. Jaipur, it is the royal town of Rajputanas, a place of magnificent cultural heritage. And because of that magnificent heritage, it has become a tourist hotspot. From every green to every phenomenal architecture, it seeps into your soul a wonderful and a warm, welcoming feeling. And the unique jewelry and the colorful costumes, coupled with the folk tunes and the Ghumar dance, here exists a flamboyant culture that no one could experience in any other city. And I'm truly grateful to be born in such a vibrant and such a colorful city, and I'm very proud of it.
I'm so happy. But what do you like most out of it?
The most I like out of it is the warmness that people show and the welcoming nature of the people. It is how we show the fraternity, how we show the brotherhood towards each other. Because it's not in every culture that we welcome everyone. As Benisiadi and Benisiadi mentioned very distinctly, that various folk dances, it is how we reminisce our history, our culture in every single speckle of light that we see. So I am reminisced of everything that I see, and I'm truly grateful.
You're very lucky. You're living in a very beautiful city. City
Yes,
which
ma'am.
is famous all over the world and almost the tourist destination for any foreigner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Saina, what would you like me to do now? Should we go to the questions?
जी.
Okay. Okay, Angel, your question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so the question which I want to ask to you is that according to you, although our country, India, comes at second position in terms of population after China. So, ma'am, why our country is still a developing country and China a developed one?
What do you think? Okay, let me get the view and I'll give you my view in the end. What do you think, Devika? I want to get your teenager view. Devika, what do you think?
Actually, I would like to begin with this stating that our teenagers are not given much exposure as much as we should. Like from now, after the coronavirus period and the COVID time, we are getting a wonderful exposure as having a live meeting with you right now. Earlier, we haven't got this exposure, and the youths that have already passed out and are in college right now, they are slowly and gradually getting the exposure. Earlier, this kind of exposure to knowledge, to other technologies wasn't there. So that is a very big reason with that. And economically also, we have been troubled through various reasons. So that is my perspective on how we are still a developing nation, but our way to development is not far away. We are on a very fast paced development, so we can soon reach a developed country stage very fast.
What do you think, Benicia?
Ma'am, Ma'am, if we look at our country and China, we see that in China, people are more into technology. Like technology wise, they are advanced than us. In India, this because of this coronavirus, everybody got into Zoom and we started searching different ways in which we can get through this and have contact. So in that way, it was kind of like a push because of which we have come to this stage right now where everybody knows about technology and how to use their mobile phones properly. But in China, this already happened long before only they knew how to do these things and they were technologically advanced. So I believe that our education system should be in a way where every child is getting access to technology and is being taught about technology in a creative manner. That is the only way we can succeed in this world right now and come out of this developing stage.
Very good. Rifa, your turn. What do you think?
Ma'am, in my perspective, the population of a country is not a liability because not every individual is a job seeker. There are the job creators. And this thought should be instilled in our minds from the beginning that we must respect our own individuality and we must work towards the progress of the country. And yeah, as Devika stated, that we will probably come out of this developing stage, and in less time only, we would be having the developed stage.
Okay, great. Krupa, you? What do you think?
Ma'am, I think growing population is a liability and also a productive thing. That is why that is because, ma'am, because if you have a huge population, it's difficult for the government to uh, like reach to everybody in a very less time, and it can be a productive thing also if for example, now India is in a developing state. But if we have a strict government and everybody is with reach, so we can make use of our population in a positive way also. But right now, in our condition, it's only being a liability. Such a great population is only being a liability, but we can turn it into a productive thing. But that is just, but that will just be with our efforts.
Good. I think you all have contributed to the answer. As I've understood. Yeah, Devika, sorry, your turn.
Ma'am, actually, I had my turn. Sorry to interrupt you, but I would like to add one more thing that just popped into my mind. It might be hurtful to a few people, but as from what I have seen, Indians are sometimes a little too much of a procrastinators. We procrastinate things to the very end level until we are like on the verge that, oh, this thing has to be done the very next moment. So we push things to the very edge, and then we get the motivation to do it, or as everybody says. So it is that we need to plan our steps earlier instead of just holding on to the very last moment. That's
I
all.
thank you, Devika. Nidhi,
Thank
you have a viewpoint. Nidhi, do you have a viewpoint? Can you hear me?
My view to this question could be, as we have poverty, still we have poverty, a big problem in our India. So when there will be more government schemes for the cause of poverty, so we will be able to educate each person of India, through which when people will develop, and the through that only, the if each person will be educated, then it's more easy, and one day India will also come in the category of a developed nation.
I think, Sana, yes, you want to say something?
Since they're young children, I want to say this because it concerns our country. Children, when you talk about a developing country and a developed country, there are certain fixed parameters. That's how you gauge it. There are certain parameters given. Who says India is not developed? Who says India is not developed? I do believe वो पैरामीटर्स को अगर हम साइड पे रखते हैं, वो जो भी स्टैटिस्टिक्स हैं, we have to fill in the blanks. The kind of resilience power our country has, it's unmatched. The kind of resilience power our country has. The way our country has come out of COVID, the way our country has come out of intense challenges last 100 years, it's unmatched. Every country has their own set of challenges. I would really like you to spend the next month writing 30 points what you love about your country. So that's my only little thought, because a country that has the power to bounce back from any challenge is the real developed nation. And be very proud of that as Indians, and our culture and our history and our heritage. It's unmatched.
Well, civilizationally, China and India are the oldest civilizations. Besides Egypt, Greece, the other empires, China and India are one of the oldest civilizations. However, history changed the course. One chose post independence democracy, and China chose controlled economy. So, if economy is a parameter, then China could thrust a lot of its directions through the throats of the people because it had a controlled society. India was a democracy, but it was welfare oriented, but it was not entirely government controlled. So, if you talk about infrastructural development, China could order a lot of infrastructure and get it done. Whereas in India, you have to go through processes of infrastructural development. But if you look at it, very well said as Benicia and others, is technology. I think what really distinguishes China took technology earlier, and a lot of foreign investments went into China earlier. If you see, you've been talking about Apple. Apple now is trying to diversify and come to India now. It didn't come earlier because India was having its own constraints of inviting foreign investment to such an extent. Foreign direct investment was a matter of dialogue and debate for many years here. So it's a democracy where parliament debates and majority decides. Whereas in China, the party decides and party dictates. So both have their own advantages and disadvantages. But remember, India and China both had a demographic dividend. In China, almost everybody goes to work. Everybody has work, given work, and must work. Here, you may work, you may not work, and you may not have work. If you've seen, we got Manrega scheme in the rural development for unemployment as employment, Mahatma Gandhi rural employment scheme. Mahatma Gandhi Manrega. Now Manrega was why? Because to provide some unemployment security work to the unemployed in the farm areas. Only this has gone only recently, not very many years ago, maybe 5, 10, or not 5, 10, about more than 10 years ago. We didn't have even this. So India has taken its own time for policies to take shape. Economic development, technology, and digitization. It's only in the last few years have we fast forwarded a bank account for everybody. Bank account for everybody. Health insurance through bank account for everybody. Health insurance just coming, whereas that's not the situation in China. Because China is a very controlled economy. And it can decide to prioritize budgets as the party decides. Here, parties decide. Parliament decides. And it's like 2 steps forward sometimes, 3 steps back. But right now, you seem to be going 2 steps forward all the time. Try. It's a matter of chance if we continue to do that. So I think technology and digitization, which has happened only now, digitization has happened only now, and COVID has expedited it hugely. Online payments started only now after demonetization, and COVID forced online payments. Earlier, people were not using the online payment system still. So I think COVID, but now, as Saina said, look at the way India handled by vaccination and saved its population on COVID. And what's happening in the neighborhood. I believe yesterday's news was thousands of deaths every day, and you won't even know it. And particularly the aged who were not vaccinated, as I understood. I may be wrong. My information based on what I'm picking up from the news. That way, India was highly protected. So what do you do? What do you call developed? What is the parameter you have of development? Is it the freedom of speech? Is it the freedom of movement? Is it the rule of law? Is it that you can challenge any government policy? Is it majority which decides? What do you call development? Or is it only wealth and economic and technology and digitization? Is it the human quality? Is it the human freedom? It's a human rights. So I think it's a matter of debate. All right, next question. Whose turn do we take? Angel, who spoke? Who spoke first? Krupa. Who spoke? Angel. Angel spoke. Devika, your turn.
Angel spoke.
Okay, Devika.
Ma'am, so actually, I would like to ask a wonderful question that I think is very practical in today's life. We as children have been brought up and taught about various ethics of life, but ethics and values that we follow till date. But we sometimes, or rather, I should just say, most of the times in our surroundings, we see various crimes taking place, people taking their way out of things. And I just want to ask that in such situations, when you being brought up, you are thinking that why have I been brought up with so many values? You try to teach others those values, but they don't reciprocate it. You feel that why am I the only person following those values? So how can this situation be approached? Because I have been in situations like this, and I have been in a dilemma that was it my fault that I follow values, or was it that person's fault not following the values? So how would you approach such a situation in today's environment and surroundings?
You see, there are certain values. There are certain values which are not tradable. Is telling lies good? Is being dishonest good?
Never.
Is thieving good?
Wouldn't say so.
So some are not. But if somebody is winning something by theft, cheating, lying, being dishonest, is it the right way? So when you have your values intact, even if somebody is making shortcuts and achieving them, is it the right way? And is it the short? Do you want to do the shortcut success? You might land up in jail. You might land up in jail sooner or later. Don't we have examples today in the society where multi rich people have lost their homes? Some of them are in jails, their properties confiscated, but they were on glamorous magazines all the time. So I don't think if your values are strong, you do not get distracted or attracted. You say, thank God, I haven't gone that way. I'm happy with little, but I'm not with that glitter, which one day could land me in jail or not let me sleep at night. Maybe afraid of the police knock, or one day the property being razed, destroyed, or defamed, defamed, that you get house arrested. You're afraid to even show your face. So there are certain values not compromisable, whatever the attraction outside. So never doubt your own beliefs in values. Be proud of them.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This gave me so much confidence, and now I think I would truly always look forward in the values that I have been taught. And with your motivational speech, I have truly have a wonderful insight into what I should really do. Thank you for
Yes,
the wonderful answer.
excellent. When you have ethical, value based beliefs, be proud of yourself, proud of your parents who gave you, proud of your school who gave you, and instead strengthen it. Read more about them. Look at those who lived by their belief. Look up to those while pity the others. Feel sorry for them, but be proud of yourself. Got it? Okay, Nidhi, your turn. Nidhi, your turn, your question. Nidhi, your question, please. Switch on your mic. Is she losing it?
Mommy.
Okay, Benicia. Can I go to Benicia?
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask the question, how do you stay humble? Because in Christianity, pride is considered as the greatest sin, and it is something I am dealing with. And so I wanted to know your opinion. How do you stay humble?
You stay humble, I believe, by remaining grateful for what you have. And when you have what you have, sometimes it's God's gifted and it can be taken away at any time. So once you realize you were God gifted by the parents you got, you were God's gifted by the school you got, you were God's gifted by the teachers you got, you didn't choose them. You were God gifted by the eyes you have, by the brains you have, by the body which is mobile you have, by the family you have, and whatever you have materially, externally, has happened because you probably use your five senses rightly and the support system came by you. So, what are you proud of? You're only utilizing God's gift rightly. So, what are you proud of? You were given all this to do the right karma. So, you're grateful for what you've been given, and you're grateful to the Almighty that's given you the wisdom to use it rightly. So, why would you not be humble? This good health is not your creation. Eyes is not your gift. Look at the people who cannot see. Look at the people who cannot even think. They are somewhere else. They are in asylums. They have a perfect body. They can see, they can hear, they can eat, they can digest, but they cannot, they don't have this right at the right place. And they are in asylums. What happened? What went wrong? So always be grateful for what nature has given you already. Count your blessings on a daily basis. Count them. That's what everybody says. When you get up in the morning, count your blessings. And they say, thank you for what you've given me. Make me be worthy of them. You will remain humble. And whatever God has given you is not only for yourself, but to be of value to others, including your time. What is most precious for you is, besides your health, your wisdom, and your resources, is your time, which is yours. 24 hours is yours. How you use them for larger good is humility, is gratitude. So you remember humility, you remain humble when you remain grateful. You stop humility when you start thinking it's all yours and it's your creation. It is, in fact, a blessing. Every moment of good health today, to my mind, is a blessing. What happened in COVID? Some got it, some didn't. Some survived it, some did not. Very wealthy could not buy life. The poorest survived. So be healthy, be grateful for living today healthily. So let not any pride come into you. Oh, it's my creation. I did it. I did my duty. I fulfilled my responsibility. I've done my prayer. All action is prayer. Thank you, Almighty, for putting me into a situation that I could do it right way. Thank you, Lord. And give me the wisdom to stay on the right path and be grateful. Okay, Benicia?
Yes, ma'am. For sure, I'll make gratitude list every single day.
Lovely. Let me go to Rifa. Rifa, your question. Rifa, your question.
Ma'am, the question which I ponder upon frequently is a problem faced by all the teenagers and especially students, like how we must balance the theoretical knowledge and the practical knowledge, the knowledge which we gain from book and the knowledge which we gain from the world. So how can we be both street smart as well as book smart?
That is what you do in physics. That's what you do in chemistry. That is what you do in biology. You go to the laboratory, you read a theorem, and then you practice it. Then you dissect it, right? And then you understand the organs of the body and you practically see. So you read it in theory, and then what you do is you practice it by dissection, by going to the laboratory. In human relations, you see is behavior. You see it on the street. You see consumer behavior. You see speech. You see thoughts. You see human conduct. You see psychology. You study psychology is exactly that. So I think if you want to match theory with practice, leadership, you read a book on leadership, and then you go to school, you see the way your teacher behaves. You see your principal behaves. You see your friends behave in relationships. You read morals, but you actually see practically human conduct. So when you start remembering what you read, and then you see the behavior, that's called theory and knowledge. So you are actually comparing the two. I read this, that be grateful, be kind, be gracious, have fear of law. So these are theory. But you see violations on the road, you see violence on the road, violations on the road, you see violence on the road, you misbehavior on the road, you see people being cheated. So you've read theory in religion, you've read theory in your spiritual books, but you see practically opposite. You realize and then you make a choice that I read this, but I see this. Choice is mine. So the more sensitive you are to situations around you, the more you will be able to understand the difference between theory and practice. Somewhere it will even match. When you meet good people, it matches. What they're saying, they're doing. In certain other cases, you see it doesn't match. He's saying something else and he's doing something else. So you understand that this is what happens in human life. Human life is not a straight line. You have all kinds of people in the world. You learn concepts, you learn theories, but you see concepts being violated, you see concepts being respected. And that's where you learn, you pick and choose. That I read this right, but I have to live right, and not the way they are violating. So when you're sensitive to human behavior around you, you then become aware of the match or mismatch between theory and practice. And leadership is the one right example. A leader leads, says something else, but does something else. So many leaderships are being caught today by being dishonest. I've lost Reefa. Anybody left? I lost Reefa.
Krupa has to ask, and Nidhi. Krupa and Nidhi.
Krupa, your turn.
Yes, a very good evening, ma'am. So, ma'am, my question to you is that when do you think that India will become a superpower, and what are the ways by which we can achieve it sooner?
India is already a yoga superpower. India is already a yoga superpower. Don't you agree? So how do you want to define superpower? Nuclear? You want to use nuclear? Well, India is nuclear, but is that a superpower? I think superpower is humanity, where you create a demographic dividend of good human beings. And I think in the world, if there is a superpower, it is Japan. Every human being is a decent human being. Everybody loves their nation. Everybody skilled. Everybody works and doesn't take a holiday from responsibility. Everybody takes responsibility for social behavior in Japan. So if there's a superpower, in my mind, is a well-behaved, responsible population. Not just GDP alone. Not just GDP, but it human development index of mind, body, soul. Healthy nation, spiritually sound, ethical, moral, spiritual. I think that to me is a superpower of the world. And that automatically will create economic and other development. Because why would this healthy nation not produce? Well, but the basis of the superpower is its character, its human character. That's why I rate Japan as very high. It's got very high index. Similarly, is Bhutan. See its happiness index. It's a happy nation. Its happiness index is the highest in the world. It's happier. So if you're a happy nation, you're a healthy nation. So I think depends on the indexes you decide on. And I would look at happiness as a quality of life. Any other?
Ji, Nidhi. Nidhi,
Nidhi, your turn.
Ma'am, firstly, I have dedicated a poem, so can I?
Yes.
सूरज से निकली एक छोटी सी किरण, दूर जग को प्रकाश दिखलाती एक छोटी सी किरण, हर लड़की हर महिला का गर्व है किरण, सबको अपने सपनों को पूरा होने की आशा देती है ये किरण.
प्यारी बेटी निधि. प्यारी बेटी निधि. Okay, Saina,
Thank
would
you,
you like
ma'am.
to, thank you, child. Thank you. Saina, would you like to wrap up?
Ma'am, my question is how we can be aware from foreign influences such as variants like COVID-19.
Today, the world news is telling you. Today, world news is telling you. Anywhere there is a COVID variant, it's the news which tells you. If you keep watching the news, it tells you what's happening where. Nowhere is it hidden anymore. Isn't it? How do you know about China? It's not China which is doing press releases every day. It's the world news which is giving you everything. So is it happening in other countries? Even in India, a new variant, if it is found, immediately makes it to news. Right? So listen to the news. Sana, would you like to do a sum up? Thank you.
Ji, Mummy, I will. Children, a few thoughts. We've crossed our time, so quickly trying to just leave a few thoughts with you. You're all lovely. You're all blessed. You're all special. You have to figure out as growing up, when you're growing up, as you're growing up, what your faith means to you and what loving God back means to you. As you figure that out, you will see that permeating into every aspect of your life. Figure out what does it mean to love God back. Because it's God, it's your Almighty, it's Paramatma, it's your Ishwar, it's your Isht, it's Ma, it's that's given you everything. Now, what does it mean for you to love God back. Figure that out. The word I can be the most constructive word and it can be the most destructive word. So use it with devotion. Use the word I with surrender. Every act can be an act of prayer. So grow up with that feeling. Figure out what is the true purpose of gaining knowledge. What is the true purpose of what we are doing here? What is the true purpose of prayer? What is the true purpose of gaining knowledge? What is the true purpose of knowing what's good and bad, what's right and wrong? If you don't apply it, figure it out. This is your journey. This is your real work. And the last thing, what Erika said, Beta, the need and the want to walk on a righteous path itself comes with grace. Don't even take that for granted. The fact that you can think right itself is kripa. So children, make devotion, make righteousness, goodness, kindness, love, prayer, effort, hard work, gratitude, your sole priority. Wish you a
So let
blessed
me thank you. Let me close by saying thank you to Sana, but most of all, Saint Angela School and our friend Ambika for bringing us all together on demonstrative learning, and the team behind the scene, behind this team of demonstrative learning, for bringing you all together to me this precious day. Thank you and wish you all the best. We are going to stay connected on the book reading group. You will continue to receive a morning nutrition, okay, from our friend Shivani Arora. Okay, thank you and bye bye. God bless you.
Lots
Thank you
of
so
love.
much.
Lots of love, Jaydhari Ma.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
हंसते खेलते रहो, खुश रहो.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
mommy.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Benita. Thank you, Angel, Nidhi, Devika, and Krupa.
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 जी.
Thank you so much, children. Love you. See yourself on the Twitter and social media handles now. You'll all be there. Thank
For
you.
sure,
And
ma'am.
Khama
thank
Gani,
you.
ma'am. Hope you shall visit our Jaipur.
God willing, soon. Soon. I'm visiting. I'll inform the girls when I'm visiting. I am visiting. Saina will inform you. Okay. Bye bye.
जी. जयधारी माँ आप सबको बच्चों
Thank you, ma'am.
हंसते खेलते रहो. हमारी
Bless you.
ऑडियंस का बहुत
Happy New Year once again
थैंक
to you and your family and to all your friends in St. Angelo School. Okay?
lots of love.
And Abhika, thank you once again. Bye bye.
Lots of love. Hold on to your faith. Hold on.
Bye bye.